It's your man JayGravesReport, and welcome to the College Football Weekly Preview, Week 12. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Previewing the top 5 ball games of the weekend, so let's get right to it. Now, last weekend was all that and a bag of chips, bruh, and I'm hoping this week is going to be the same thing. So we're going to start in the Big Ten. We got number 16, Nebraska, goes out to play number 20, Wisconsin. Going up to Madison. Hey, here's the deal. There's a 3-way tie in the Big Ten West between Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Minnesota. Now, Nebraska is dull on the road. They lost 4 out the last 5 road games to top 25 teams. So they have problems playing top 25 teams. Now, Amir Abdullah comes into this ball game with more than 1,200 yards and 17 touchdowns, but he banged up, bruh. He leads the nation in all-purpose yards with 187 yards per game. He the real deal, but he banged up. Now, Melvin Gordon on the other side of the ball has more than 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns. All they're going to do in this ball game, bruh, is run the ball. We're not going to see the ball get thrown at all. It's almost like watching the 1948 Notre Dame Arkansas game, bruh. We're going to see Johnny Lujack and Paul Horton run around with the ball. Hey, if you trying to get a nap this weekend, turn this ball game on, because it's going to put you right to sleep. Hey, I'm going with Wisconsin to win this ball game because Amir Abdullah's banged up. They dull on the road. Nebraska dull on the road. Bo Pelini can't get it done on the road. So I'm going with Wisconsin. But if you want to get a nap before the real games come on, turn this game on. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we're going to stay in the Big Ten. We're going number 8, Ohio State goes up to Minnesota to play number 25, Golden Gophers. Now, here's the deal. Ohio State comes off a huge win this weekend. They went up to Sparty, beat the brakes off Sparty, took his arm off of him and left him in the toilet butt naked. Hey, they the winners of 7 in a row. After they got drugged in the second game of the season against Vitek, the young boy, J.T. Barrett, been going to work on these boys. He got more than 2,100 yards and 26 touchdowns. He lethal back there, bruh. He dissected Michigan State like crazy. I think he going to go in here, beat the brakes off Minnesota. Look, don't tell me nothing about Minnesota unless you're talking about the Mall of America, Prince, Time, and the Vanity 6. Because Minnesota ain't playing no football. I know they 7-2. Boys trying to talk about, hey, they in a 3-way tie for first place in the West, etc., etc., etc. Don't give me all that. Ohio State gonna go up here and beat the brakes off these boys. And if they ain't got Prince playing the doggone theme music, they in trouble. Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go down to the SEC. You got number 9, Auburn, coming off of a bad loss, going down to play between the hedges to play number 15, Georgia. Now, here's the deal. Auburn coming off of a bad loss. You know, they got drugged last week against Texas A&M, 41-38. Don't let the doggone score fool you. They were getting the brakes beat off of them, and they just made it look respectable at the end of the game. Duke Williams may not play in this ball game. So, that's a problem. Nick Marshall going to have to figure out somebody else to throw the ball, and that's going to be a bad situation because he don't have anybody to throw to because Duke Williams is the real deal. Now, on the other side of the ball, Todd Gurley comes back into this ball game after being out for 4 ball games for signing dog autograph. He went on and admitted that he took $3,000 over 2 years. It meant nothing. Hey, unless they come up with a receipt, bruh, it meant nothing. But this done, did the 4-game suspension. Now, here's the deal. During that 4 games, they went 3-1, all road games. But they got drugged by Florida. Now, the young boy, Nick Chubb, came in and went to work. He took over for Todd Gurley, had 671 yards and 5 touchdowns in those 4 ball games. So, he did what he needed to do. I'm just going to say this. Georgia is Mark Richt's Georgia. But I will say, Georgia's already lost the 2 ball games they scheduled to lose every year. See, they come in ranked in the top 10 every year. They dub. Old Dub spray tan. Mark Rick come in. And he gonna lose 2 ball games. So he's already lost his 2. He's not gonna lose this ball game because Duke Williams is not playing. That makes Auburn one-dimensional. Georgia wins this ball game. Everybody gonna be hyped up because Todd Gurley's back in the game. So we're gonna go with Georgia to win this ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we got number 3, Florida State. Goes down to Miami to play the Miami Hurricanes. Now, the Hurricanes ain't ranked. They got the best quarterback in the ACC statistically. You got Brad Kaya. He leads the ACC in touchdown passes, leads them in yards per attempt, leads them in completions, and quarterback rating. That don't mean nothing, bruh, because you got Jameis Winston on the other side of the ball. He's coming into this ball game, never lost a ball game in his college career. Let me say that again. Never lost a game in his college career. They're on a 25-game win streak, bruh. He come in with more than 2,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. This is the problem all these duns in the media got with Jameis Winston and Florida State. They keep on trying to move him back. Right now, they number 3 in the college football playoff ranking when they got a 25-game winning streak and they undefeated. Just go ahead and say, we don't want Jameis Winston in the national championship. We about to screw him out the Heisman Trophy, even though he's the best player in college football, but we don't want him. But the problem is Jameis Winston keep winning on these boys. So I'm going with Florida State to win this game on the road, even though it's a rivalry game. It's going to be hard fought, but Florida State wins this ball game, and Jameis Winston flips the bird to all the dogs that don't want to see him win. Hey, let's move on to the big ball game. We going down to the SEC. We got number 1, Mississippi State goes down to Tuscaloosa to play the number 5 Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I'm tempted to drive to Tuscaloosa this weekend, get me some Dreamland barbecue, and sit in the parking lot and listen to boys from Mississippi State, the dumb Mississippi State Cowbells, moan and groan because the doggone Alabama Crimson Tide gonna beat the brakes off of them. Now, Dak Prescott, he the real deal. He comes into this ball game with more than 2,200 yards, 18 touchdowns. But it ain't going to be enough, bruh. Ain't going to be enough because you got Blake Sims on the other side of the ball coming in with 2,200 yards and 17 touchdowns and a plethora of weapons. Y'all didn't know I could use that word properly, did you? Let me say it again. Plethora. Look, he's got T.J. Yeldon, Amari Cooper, Derrick Henry, DeAndre White. They coming in, they gonna go to work on these boys. Then we don't ever have to hear about old dumb Mississippi State, Starkville, Stark Vegas, everything they trying to make it what it is. Dak Prescott is this weekend. It's your man Jay Graves Report from the JayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport so you can holler at your boy.